Hello, my name is Dave Emery, and in the next half hour we're going to visit a number of topics pertinent to health or scientific matters that in turn in the context of the major focal point of this program, which is anti-fascism and the machinations of international fascism and corresponding and related elements of the U.S. and other countries' national security establishments. Right next to that article, again from the San Francisco Examiner of Friday, February 19th of 1999, is another very important story, also an AP story, also datelined Washington. This headlined, "Farmers and Environmentalists Sue Over Genetically Altered Seeds." And this alludes to not only genetically altered products that are being introduced into the agricultural market, but specifically the terminator seeds that I've discussed at considerable length on my 3-hour program that originates in the Bay Area. I have not discussed terminator seeds in the half-hour segment syndicated to other stations. This article reads, again from the Examiner 2, 1999, and right next to the article about the simian cancer virus. A coalition of environmentalists and organic farmers has filed a lawsuit against the Environmental Protection Agency to force the agency to ban the use of genetically altered seed in corn, cotton, and potatoes. The lawsuit was filed Thursday in U.S. District Court by Greenpeace International, the Center for Food Safety, and the International Federation of Organic Agricultural Movements. Quote, "These crops are an environmental disaster waiting to happen," unquote, said Kaylee Kreider, K-R-E-I-D-E-R, a Greenpeace spokeswoman. Indeed, I second Ms. Kreider's assessment of the danger of these articles. Fortunately, articles are now beginning to filter into the mainstream press about the dangers of terminator seeds. The first article that I have seen in the American mainstream press, I've seen it in the European mainstream press, was carried in an op-ed column that appeared in the San Francisco Chronicle of Monday, March 1st of 1999. This is an article authored by Anuradha Mittal, M-I-T-T-A-L, and Peter Rossett, R-O-S-S-E-T, who are the Policy Director and Executive Director, respectively, for Food First, the Institute for Food and Development Policy in Oakland. Their website, www.foodfirst.org. This article reads, Farmer Percy Schmeiser, S-C-H-M-E-I-S-E-R, of Saskatchewan, was surprised when he was served with a lawsuit for, quote, "doing what I've always done," unquote. Indeed, for what farmers have done for millennia, saving seeds for the next planting. Schmeiser is one of hundreds of Canadian and American farmers being sued by the biotech giant Monsanto Corporation for allegedly reusing proprietary genetically engineered seeds. Monsanto has a patent on those seeds and has forbidden farmers to save the seeds so that they will have to return to the company and buy new seed each year. But such questionable tactics as patenting life forms and charging for their use will soon be unnecessary if Monsanto has its way. The Terminator technology has arrived to make the gene police, unquote, redundant. Today, more than 30% of the corn and soybeans planted in the United States and close to 50% of the canola planted in Canada is genetically engineered. Biotech companies like Monsanto are aggressively protecting their patented seeds, asserting that it takes millions of dollars and years of research to develop such seeds. Monsanto has used legal means to protect its investment. But in the future, corporate profit protection will be biologically built into the plants. The technology protection system, dubbed the Terminator technology by critics, was developed by scientists at the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Delta Pine Land Company, a Mississippi seed company being purchased by Monsanto. The technology creates crop plants that kill their own offspring by producing sterile seeds. The aim is to help biotechnology companies retain control of their patented crops by making it impossible for farmers to save the seeds for replanting. Saving and exchanging seeds with neighbors has always been an integral part of the social fabric of rural communities worldwide, including here in America. The for-profit intrusion of global corporations has the potential to rend that social fabric and turn neighbors, once joined together by the need to survive, into competitors. In addition to the social implications, this latest assault on nature has serious economic and environmental implications. International farm and environmental organizations have raised the alarm. Seed saving is an age-old tradition throughout the world, and this new technology could potentially threaten in the developing world more than 1 billion subsistence farmers who depend upon saved seed for their food security. Beyond creating a dependence on cash to buy these genetically engineered seeds each year, The technology threatens farmers' expertise in seed selection and traditional plant breeding. There is no guarantee that the terminator, unquote, will remain in the intended crop varieties. Pollen from terminator plants can fertilize nearby native plants, making them sterile. Wild relatives of crop varieties, important for natural evolution of crop species, once affected by cross-contamination, could endanger the world's food supply. It could even lead to the extinction of traditional varieties. This, quote, genetic pollution, unquote, can be much harder to fight than old-style pollution. Unlike an oil spill, you can't just throw a boom around it. There is another concern that relates to so-called intellectual property rights, unquote. Patenting genes the same way you patent software robs third-world farmers. While they and their ancestors develop almost all important food crops, transnational corporations can now blithely patent those crops and make mega profits without in any way compensating traditional farm communities for the original research. Genetic resources taken freely from southern countries will be returned to them later as pricey, patented commodities. Terminator technology is a way of locking this biopiracy into the very genes themselves. And again, the Food First Institute for Food and Development Policy's website, www.foodfirst.org. That op-ed column again from the San Francisco Chronicle of Monday, March 1st of 1999. That concludes this segment. My name's Dave Emery. Thanks for listening.